Welcome to episode 1 of Big Mountains, Big Sky. This is a little travel series I've been wanting to do for a little bit about last year when we were on the road in our 1973 Airstream Argosy. Some of the stories from our 26,000 miles on the road, which ultimately led to us secretly getting married and traveling to 38 different states around the country. This is kind of our story. To start, we have to catch up on where we were at the beginning of 2019. Emily and I had only been dating for 5 or 6 months when we decided to move into the trailer, and we still had quite a lot of work to do on the trailer before we were able to live in it. I was working in Los Angeles at a visual effects company for a few months to save up some money, and Emily was down in San Diego at her parents' house, where during the day she was working on renovating the trailer with her dad. And at night she was working on her web design and branding clients. Most weeks she would come up to Los Angeles, or I would go down to San Diego and we'd work on continuing some of the renovations on the trailer. Emily had bought the trailer in 2017 before we actually even met, and had done a lot of the renovations with her dad and her uncle before we even started dating.
Hey, I thought I would give a quick update on how the Airstream is coming along for any of you guys that may be interested. So we've worked on it for just under 2 weeks. I started first with a day of demo on my own, a couple days of painting, then we had 2 more days of demo, 2 days of plumbing, and now 3 days of building. So we have a bed platform built up here. These are going to be drawers that will be cut out eventually. We have nightstand, some storage, all the way around, and we're beginning to frame out the kitchen. Definitely didn't appreciate how long plumbing and all of that stuff would take. We had to do a new water tank, a water pump, and run everything back to a water heater. The previous owner just had it hooked up to city water and not for on the go. This is the 30-gallon water tank that I picked up. It should mean that I can go a week or 2 without needing to refill on water. That's the switch to the drain. The pipes run back to the water pump, which is back here in the closet. Water heater stuff is outside, and I won't bore you with that now, but everything is coming along slowly but surely.
In February of 2019, I finished up my contract in LA and moved everything out of my apartment down to San Diego, where we finished up some final renovations for the last 2 or 3 weeks and got ready to get on the road. This included resealing the windows, fixing the propane water heater and stove, installing the trailer hitch on the truck, and finishing the electrical setup.
We got 2 of the lights to work, and my dad worked on the new converter and got that working, so we have power again because we blew out the last one. It was very old though, so it wasn't our fault. And we brought it over back to my house so I can run out and do it on a whim when I feel like it.
Everybody knows Airstreams by their polished aluminum look, but during the 70s, Airstream made a line called the Argosys, so they had galvanized steel on the front and back caps, and so that meant they couldn't be polished. Our trailer is a 20-foot 1973 Airstream Argosy, and the owner before had painted it silver to kind of match the traditional look. So one of our final steps was actually sanding off all of the paint that he had put on and then repainting it in the traditional manner as you would have seen these Argosys back in the 70s when they first came out.
The past couple of months working on the trailer have been really rewarding, seeing it all come together. It's been hard balancing it with work and family time and other commitments, but it's also been some of the most exciting parts of the process. We finished out the wood, we built out the kitchen, I learned how to do all the electrical. My dad, the sweet saint that he is, did all of the plumbing, and just today finally put in the flooring. So after countless hours of work by myself and loved ones who have been so patient and helpful through this process, and after countless trips to Home Depot, we're finally at the point where we can start to move stuff into the trailer. Our goal is to get it on the road in the next week or 2. We got a truck last weekend. It just takes up so much of the road.
About a week before we left, we started sleeping in the trailer just to kind of see what we needed to adjust when we were cooking and sleeping. Before we left, Emily's parents threw us a trailer warming party, and honestly, none of this would have been possible without the help of the entire community, and especially Emily's dad, uncle, and cousin. Different people would show up and help with one specific task. They either had the tools to lend us or the skills to kind of help us out with things. Over the next 9 months, we would travel to 38 states, drive over 26,000 miles, and cross the country 4 different times. If you'd like to hear more about those adventures, follow along next week to see how our journey began and how it went along the way. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below, and we'll see you next time.